Travel expenses for Computex paid for in part by ASRock. Have you considered them for your next build? Motherboards, graphics cards, even small form factor bare bones machines that we've reviewed, like the Desk Meat. ASRock motherboards, the ASRock Steel Legend Value Champions. They've got some pretty good stuff. Be sure to check out ASRock for your next build. I'm back in Taiwan with Computex, but also to reconnect with some old friends and have a little bit of fun. We got a lot of Computex coverage planned. Hopefully you'll check it all out. But yeah, it's really interesting being back after 3 or 4 years of not being here. It's pretty interesting. Of course, you got to go to the Digital Plaza, obviously. That's a given. You got to deal with the traffic because there's a lot of traffic. But there's a green space just in the middle of a 6-lane highway. NVIDIA has kicked things off with their keynote, Grace Hopper, and putting all that together. That looks pretty exciting if you're in the world of AI. It kind of makes sense why their stock price has gone completely insane. But it's also a highly competitive world, so things are probably going to get interesting there. Now, ARM had their announcement. ARM, if you haven't been watching them, this really isn't news. I mean, okay, it is news because ARM's entering the mainstream. We see products from ASRock. You can support a developer workstation, 128 cores, right on a standard ATX desktop. That's got to be a little bit unsettling to the rest of the industry. I mean, you know, with Intel and AMD, Computex isn't over. We'll see what AMD and Intel are going to do here at Computex, but really, ARM's kind of already stealing the show. I mean, if you think that the ARM products are sort of first generation, first out the gate, that's not really what this is. These are actually next generation Neoverse products, but they've sort of been there, done that. They've been here for a long time, even in the server space, even in the high core count space. Yeah, Linux is probably what the operating system is that you're going to look at, but for cloud providers, it's kind of been there, done that with ARM, and specifically with Neoverse and everything that their team is doing. It's really pretty exciting. Now, of course, the Ampere Ultra, that's the 128 core monster we're talking about. It's a lot of cores. It's a lot of horsepower. It's not really meant for mobile. There was definitely a lot of in-the-weeds technical details at ARM's press event for how they're using mobile on their plans and their roadmap for how everything integrates, the new core complexes, 14 cores in the dynamic IQ DSU 120. These are all sort of big moves from ARM. Player 3 has entered the game in a big way. That display is 8K. 8K native resolution Phantom Gaming. I have to get my hands on this monitor. It's an IPS type display. It is 60 hertz, so you're not going to be running it, at 144 hertz at, some sort of ridiculous gaming resolution or anything like that. But it's a true 8K native IPS display. This is where all the display capacity has been going from ASRock, Phantom Gaming, obviously. 8K native, a single, and it's 55 inches. It looks a little small because it's on the giant wall of monitors that have the other Phantom Gaming monitors. If you're interested in something that's high refresh rate, maybe you're interested in their new 27-inch monitor, which is 144 hertz, actually 165 hertz. 1 millisecond is gray to gray. I gotta test that one because that's the one that I haven't tested. I reviewed the other ones, but not that one. So yeah. Oh yeah, nice. And this is the PG27Q2FA. It's a new panel from ASRock for Computex. This is 2560 by 1440, but an IPS type panel. They've got a little bit of a new Phantom Gaming aesthetic here for Computex, but 1 millisecond HDR, MPR. I can't wait to review this. This is going to be a really interesting gaming monitor. I know some of you are not big fans of curved monitors. It's not curved, it's perfectly flat. So high resolution, high response time gaming monitor from Phantom Gaming. ASRock's got it. 8 heat pipes in this configuration. This is the 7900 XT. It doesn't need as many heat pipes, but and then they've got the Challenger 7600, which this is a pretty OC. I mean, 2695 megahertz is the boost clock, but the game clock is 2280. That seems sort of backwards, but okay. 2695. No, I guess that's
it's they usually run around 2,500.
Okay, so that's pretty good. 8 gigs of GDDR6, as it's a 7600, but with their heatsink, which is nice. A lot of fun times. And then of course you got the 7900 XTX Tai Chi, which is again 8 channels, or 8 heat pipes. So they've really, ASRock has really gone pretty nuts here, which is in a good way. Number one case in Poland, they're launching 2 different air-cooled cases. The ARX 700 Air and this one, which is the ARX 500. There's the MSRP in Europe. With and without RGB. You've put 4 140 millimeter fans with a PWM controller right in sort of the baseline configuration, but you've also got a short depth version too. A lot of people don't, it's like if I'm going to go airflow, I'm going to go tower cooler, I'm not going to bother with radiators, I just need fans, and I got to say I like the trend.
Yeah, the short version also supports like 95% of video cards, so yeah.
It's
actually the long version is for people who want to have radiators.
It's the ARX 700 for dual radiator, and you have 360 in the top and the front.
Yeah.
Even though it's 140 millimeters, that's the rail mounting system for the fans. You just move it.
Yeah.
It's actually the fan mounting mechanism is actually some other people should take note of this. Like we missed something obvious, and yet it's so elegant.
Actually, in many cases, they can have the 140 millimeters fans installed in the front, but then like 50% of the fan is obstructed with the chassis. It's not the case here. Yeah, no, we just figured it out, right? We thought how we wanted to design it, and that's what we designed it.
Yeah, I really like the fact that it's just the fans, and there's no, it's like, oh, we need to support 120 millimeter fans, so you got these metal tabs that stick into the airflow area of the 140 millimeter. No, there's none of that. We don't. It's not necessary to do that.
And the fans are PWM.
Yeah. So and you get a fan controller. You don't have to use the fan controller, but you get a fan controller if you don't have that many.
You already have fan control on your mainboard, right?
It's good. It's fun times. There's a lot of consumer electronics launching, a lot of excitement around fanless technology and all sorts of fun other things, but I've been briefed on some of the stuff coming up with Computex, but that's about all I can talk about for now. But Computex is not just about the technology, it's also about hanging out with everybody else. It's fun to reconnect with Luke and Jake and Patrick from Serve the Home, Steve from Gamers Nexus, Paul from Paul's Hardware, and a whole bunch of other people I haven't seen yet at the time that I'm recording this, so a lot of fun times.
That was supposed to be a selfie!
No, look, we're at Computex.
Amazing.
It's Patrick.
Hey guys, Jake.
What's going on? Well, I think that's enough for this one. This is a little bit more travel, sort of fun, exciting. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I like Taipei a lot. If you ever have the chance to come and visit Taipei and you like technical things, Taipei is a lot of fun. Just everybody's smart, it's so clean, it's so easy to get around if you don't speak the language. I don't know, it's really exciting. I'm Wendell, Level 1, I'm signing out. You can find me in the Level 1 forums. The subway drains down to 1 screw. What's gonna happen?